seems a good time to recap what PSLF is and how it relates to the PSLF buyback provision. Anyone who has federal student loans, they have the opportunity written into their promissory note that if they work full-time for a nonprofit organization for 10 years after school, and they can certify that employment, and they make qualifying payments on one of the 4 income-driven repayment plans, then having certified their income and their employment when they're asked to, and made on-time payments for those 10 years, then the remainder of their loans, whatever's left at that point, is discharged. The income-driven repayment plans are based on your income retroactively. So a lot of times people's payments right now are based on last year's income, or in the case of like what's happened with the COVID pause and all these other things, they're based on a few years back. So it varies quite widely as far as how much you're paying in. But as long as you're on one of these income-driven repayment plans, making payments and working full-time for a nonprofit organization or the government, then you're able to get to qualify those payments. The 4 income-driven repayment plans, those are PAYE, P-A-Y-E, IBR, ICR, and SAVE. SAVE used to be called REPAY, R-E-P-A-Y-E. It got converted to SAVE. It became a much more aggressive way for borrowers to have to pay less on their loans. However, that plan is under fire and is almost certainly going to be struck down in the coming weeks or months. In any case, making a payment on one of these 4 normally would count toward PSLF. However, SAVE borrowers were put into a forced forbearance as of July 2024. And even if they continue to work for a nonprofit organization during these months, payments have not been counting toward PSLF. Hence, the buyback provision has gotten a lot more attention. This provision is not related directly to the SAVE plan only. It is something that existed beforehand. If someone was in forbearance and they actually wanted to make payments, in hindsight, they were working for a nonprofit organization, they realized that these payments can count, then they can apply for the buyback provision as a function of their PSLF application. And I say that specifically because people think that when they first get out of school and they want to try to go for PSLF, they want to start on that track of 120 payments. They think that they're applying for PSLF at that point, but they're not. All they're doing is certifying their income and picking an income-driven repayment plan. Once you hit 120 of these qualifying payments, that is when you use the PSLF help tool at studentaid.gov to actually apply for PSLF. The nuance here with this buyback, and for anyone on the SAVE program, or the SAVE plan, is that if you would have hit the 120, say by October or November of 2024, but you were forced into this forbearance, you can use this buyback provision as a means to get your loans forgiven now, right now. So this is something that can happen for you. You have to follow some specific steps, which I'll include in the notes so you can see. But if you're in the situation where you were just a few payments away, or say you're about to hit 120, like next month or something, you want to be ready to take these steps. Because another thing that people are concerned about is that the new administration is going to get rid of the buyback provision. Now, they haven't said that they're going to, but it just seems like it's something that they might do. So if you're on the cusp of being able to get PSLF, when you add in these months in forbearance that should have counted, then you want to act quickly. Now, bear in mind, you cannot apply for the buyback provision unless you've hit the 120, including these forbearance months that should have counted. So that's the connectivity between PSLF and the buyback provision.